Good evenings, gentlemen and ladies. I am the Old School Game Snob, and in today's video we are taking a look at the Immortal Infinity Lightning Sorceress. This is the sorceress that little sorceresses dream about becoming one day when they grow up. This is by no stretch of the imagination a budget build, but this I think is probably the most powerful sorceress build in the game, and she is just so fun to play. There is really nothing that can stand up to her. There is really nothing that can slow her down. She is extremely tanky with her energy shield, and she clears areas so quickly. Sort of like the Blizzard Sorceress is able to clear areas quickly, the Immortal Infinity Sorceress can clear areas quickly and also not be slowed down by cold immunities or immunities of any sorts. She is just so powerful, and yeah, so fun to play. This is my favorite sorceress. I don't know what else to tell you. Let's take a look at her build. So right off the bat, we are using the Infinity rune word. This is Bur, Bearer, Mal, and Ist. This makes this build extremely expensive if it were only for this. And for this reason, this is going to be in no way a budget build. This is going to be a top tier end game, best gear build, and kind of the best case scenario and the most powerful sorceress sort of theme. So what the Infinity rune word does is it gives that level 12 conviction aura. That level 12 conviction aura is able to break immunities. It is especially good at breaking lightning immunities, which is why we are focused on lightning damage. For whatever reason, lightning immunities tend to be less difficult to break than other immunities in Diablo, so that is why we are focusing on the Lightning Sorceress in this case, because almost every monster in Hell difficulty with lightning immunity can be broken. For lack of a better way of saying, immunities such as cold immune monsters or fire immune monsters are actually just more immune than lightning immune monsters. They have a higher immunity, and it requires a more strong conviction aura to break those immunities, and that level 12 conviction aura, I believe, can reduce immunities by 70 or 80%, I forget, which is, like I say, enough to break pretty much everything in lightning, but not everything in cold and fire. Anyway, her mercenary is also wearing a Fortitude rune word. This is great because of that 300% enhanced damage. That really helps your mercenary to stay alive, and well, yeah, your mercenary is your way of breaking immunities, so we absolutely need him to stay alive on the front line, taking things down. Andariel's Visage is also his choice of helm for that big 10% life stolen per hit, and also that big 20% increased attack speed. Your mercenary stays alive based on how much life he can steal, and the faster his attack, the better. The harder he hits, the better. That's why Fortitude, and that's why increased attack speed. I have also socketed his helmet with a Ral rune. Normally Andariel's Visage gives a minus 30 to fire resistance, but with that plus 30 from the Ral rune, it breaks out about even. As for our stunning and powerful sorceress, we have 20 hard points into lightning, 20 hard into chain lightning, and 20 hard into cold mastery. We also have 20 hard into energy shield and 20 hard into telekinesis, 1 into teleport, 1 into static field. We have also got 1 into warmth to help with mana recovery, and we've got 1 into frozen armor because that gets our armor up, and well, the less damage we take to our energy shield, the more easy it is to stay up, and that's an easy 1 point into frozen armor to help quite a bit. And so there we have 70% without our frozen armor and 57%, so that's getting hit a whole lot less. That's definitely worth a point. I should probably also explain that the reason we have all these hard points into telekinesis is because this synergizes with our energy shield. Basically what happens is that when you have only 1 point into telekinesis, you take 200 points of damage to your, or 200% rather, damage to your energy shield for every 1 point of damage that you take. So if you take 1 point of damage from an enemy, you actually take 2 points of damage to your energy shield. The more you raise your telekinesis up, the more this is reduced. At level 16, you basically take 1-to-1. So 1 point of damage to your energy shield from a monster will inflict 1 point of damage to your mana. At level 20 hard points into telekinesis, this is actually reduced by 25%. So if you take 1 point of damage to your mana, you would actually reduce that by 25%. So you're only taking, well, 0.75% damage, or let's use 100 for easier math. So if you take 100 points of damage, you would only take 75 points of damage to your mana. Then, of course, our energy shield is currently sitting at 88% damage reduction. So we are actually only taking 12% damage, and only 75% of damage is getting through. And then from that remaining 12% of damage that gets through, what we are also going to now do is stack a little bit of gear that has damage reduction on top of it. So I have Skin of the Vampire Magi, and Skin of the Vampire Magi is nice for so many reasons. One of those reasons is its magic damage reduction, socketed with a soul rune. I've also got Griffin's Eye, socketed with a soul rune. And the reason that we have these socketed with a soul rune is that they get our damage reduction up. And in this case, it's only up to 14, and our magic damage reduction is 13. But since we're only reducing damage from 12% of the damage that is actually getting through, for the most part, that 14 and 13 damage reduction leaves us with like 1 point of damage or 2 points of damage that we're actually taking to our health pool. Now, on my weapon swap, I actually like to keep Gurk's Sanctuary because of its natural damage reduction and magical damage reduction. I've also got this socketed with a soul rune. When you swap over to Gurk's Sanctuary with this configuration, you don't lose any of your faster cast rate breakpoint speed, so you can still cast just as fast. But you also get 37 damage reduction, or pretty near it, and pretty near 30 magic damage reduction. So if you're hitting, if you're facing monsters that are hitting somewhat harder, you can swap over to the Gurk's Sanctuary option and then start to take basically no damage to your life pool at all. Okay, so basically how it works is this. When you take damage with Energy Shield on, first, that damage is reduced by that 25% from your telekinesis bonus, and then the remaining damage is applied to your mana pool. Your mana pool reduces damage to your health by whatever percentage your Energy Shield is at, in this case 86% damage reduction, leaving 14% of damage to actually get through. Actually, let me just swap over because we were talking about 12%. So 12% of damage gets through to your health. Now that damage is resisted depending on what your resistances are. So if using 100 damage that gets through, and 75% of that actually gets through to your mana, from that 75%, 12% of that gets through to your health, and of that 12%, if it's like fire damage or something, it is then resisted by 75%, and then of the damage that is actually still actual damage, it is then reduced by your damage reduction or your magic damage deduction, depending on what type of damage is getting through. But long story short, with all of these resistances and damage reductions and various things working for you, not to forget defense, which means, like I say, melee and can even miss you a lot of the time, you are very, very tanky. In a nutshell, that's what I'm trying to get to, is that you are very tanky with this Immortal Sorceress in so many ways. Oh, I just love this character. We will talk about the rest of this build in just a second, but let me show you an example. These Prowling Dead are notorious for their hard-hitting attacks. Look at that. As long as this character has mana, she's alright. Of course, keeping mana up is one thing, but now I've switched over to my bigger shield with increased damage reduction, and as you can see, hardly any of these hits are getting through. And like I say, when you don't have a lot of damage reduction, these hits usually can take you out for 500, 600 damage in a hit. So yeah, these are really hard-hitting melee attack monsters, and as long as her mana is okay, yeah, that health pool is barely moving. It's actually recharging at the moment. Well, a little bit. It's pretty darn close. So yeah, pretty fun Meanwhile, the mercenary's mopping up over here. I won't get too much into the immortal part of this, but there are some interesting options. You might consider even using an insight aura for your own weapon, and then tanking up with like Gladiator's Bane or something, and getting your mana recharging so fast, and no damage gets through. Of course, your damage output suffers, but it's kind of fun to just take no damage. Anyway, let's carry on with the rest of this build. For her gear, like I say, this is a top tier build, and there's nothing budget about it. I have Arachnid's Mesh for her faster cast rate mostly, and that +1 skills, obviously, very nice. Increase to maximum mana is very good. The higher our mana pool, the faster our recharge rate, and since her health is her mana, the faster we can get that recharging, the better, especially since unfortunately we can't take advantage of the insight aura on our mercenary's polearm because he's got to use infinity. Some sorceresses, as this is, some infinity sorceresses like to use infinity in their own hands as their own weapon, and that is an option you might look at, but this guide will talk not about that technique. Instead, we will just focus on, like I say, sword and shield style. Well, wand and shield, I guess I should say. We have 2 Stones of Jordan. These increase maximum mana, obviously. They give a bonus to mana, they give a bonus to skills, but again, that increase to maximum mana is what really helps us to stay alive. We have Frostburn Gauntlets for that very reason, increase 40% to maximum mana. For her boots, I've just got War Traveler boots on at the moment. But the boots are kind of the one thing that you can optionally swap out for whatever boots you like the best. For her weapon, I have Shoota's Temper, and that is because this gives a up to 20% lightning skill damage increase, and 3 sorceress skills, and 40% faster cast rate, and some mana also in form of 30 energy. So that's really great. For her headpiece, we have Griffin's Eye, and that is also for the faster cast rate and the minus up to 20 enemy lightning resistance, and also the 20 lightning skill. I mean, this is just exactly what a lightning sorceress would need. For her necklace, I've got a +2 10% faster cast rate crafted amulet. You could potentially get up to a 20% faster cast rate, and this character can actually break that 200% faster cast rate if you swap out the Stones of Jordan for faster cast rate rings, and if you swap out the Frostburn for Mage Fist, she gets over 200%, and that's nice. But what happens if you do that is that her hip or mana pool goes down quite a bit, and her tankiness drops a whole lot too. And the damage increase, I don't really think is that substantial from that extra breakpoint for the value that you would get from having such a nice high mana pool in terms of survivability. So that's why I favor this configuration. Anyway, that's basically the configuration. Out of the box, her life pool will be very low. We have everything into energy and enough to wear our gear, actually plus a little bit by accident, but enough to wear her gear. In terms of getting her health up and her resistances up, you will want to be stacking charms. So you just kind of need to stack whatever charms you can find for your health and for your resistances, because otherwise those things might suffer a bit, especially her poison resistance can be a bit of a downside. You need to get that one up quite high. The other ones are not as important because her energy shield will absorb all damage that comes in, and not a lot of it will get through. Even if you had negative resistances, she's still going to be very resistant to damage, but poison goes right through. So poison, if you can't get any resistance up other than 1, I would choose poison as the main one to get up. Actually, it occurs to me to clarify on that a little bit. Your mana will take the damage of a spell straight flat to your mana shield. So if you take damage from a spell that does 100 points of damage, your mana will take 100 points of damage. Of course, it is reduced by 25% with telekinesis, so it will take 75 points of damage. Your resistance over here does not reduce how much damage comes into your mana. That is why having lower resistances over here, or even negative resistances, isn't the end of the world for an energy shield sorceress, since she's taking pretty much all her damage to her mana. This helps, of course, in reducing any damage that gets through her mana to her health pool, but for the most part that is also again reduced a whole bunch by damage reduction by a flat amount, magic damage reduction, and the fact that only like 12% is getting through. Anyway, And then, yeah, like I say, stack that health up with charms as much as you can, and resist up with charms, and that's basically the gear. Alright, let's take this girl out for a spin, and I can show you how she handles the areas. But first, a very, very kind thank you to all of my absolute rockstar Diablo 2 fan subscribers, 15,500 of you crazy folk. Thank you very much, I appreciate the support. So we saw this lady take down some of the Chaos Sanctuary. Let's show how she performs here on the Eldritch Pindleskin run, just because it's, well, it's done. how about Shank the Overseer? Shall we check him out? Do you want to just go stand right in the middle of things and see if Shank's any problem at all? No problem here? Alright, well, let's take them all down. Shank the Overseer, oh, he's down. That's done. Oh my god. This is so fun. Okay, back to Pindleskin. Let's take out Pindleskin. I'm sure you can already guess how this is going to go rather well. Oh yeah, these guys are still awake, right? We woke them up a bit. Oops, wrong button. That's okay. That's alright. And he's down. Where are we going to head next? Let's head over. You know what's kind of funny? I've noticed on the trade boards that there's sure a lot of people trading the essences of hatred and the essences of which one is the one that, gloams. Yes, gloams are a problem, right? But for this character, well, they're still a problem, but not as much so as you might have with most other characters, right? You can see I can just kind of stand there and it'll be all right. I wouldn't want to do it forever, because gloams are still gloams, or sorry, not gloams, but Dark Souls. I call them all gloams, but yeah, I wouldn't want to stand there forever, but at the same time, I'm not nearly as afraid of those things as I am with any other character. Any other character than a good Immortal Sorceress build, I guess I should say. So the strategy is sort of to teleport your mercenary into position. He gets that conviction aura on things, and yeah, gloams are still gloams. Gloams will always be gloams. Come on, gloams. Oh, my shield came down. Oh, that'll make a big difference. See, that's the thing you got to watch out for too. When the shield comes down, you got to make sure you get it put back up, and that will happen in case of mana burn, or in case your shield is entirely drained of mana. When your shield is drained of mana, the energy shield comes off, and you need to recast it to put it back up. So you kind of have to watch out for that. It doesn't happen often, because for the most part, you know, you're not dealing with things that can take your shield down that quickly and easily. Gloams are the exception to that. I'm kind of happy we're fighting gloams here, because I think they're like the hardest monster in the game. So I think if this lady can handle gloams, you know, she can handle anything, right? Anyway, let's take down the gloams. What button am I pressing? I think I'm pressing the wrong damn button. Anyway, keep teleporting when I mean to cast a lightning spell. Anyway, that was a little bit dangerous and a little bit rough, but like I say, you know, gloams are gloams. Or not gloams, Dark Souls, as they were. One of the nice things, though, about this character, though, is that when things are hot, she can be back over here, right? Casting off the screen, kind of like how the Dark Souls like to do. They like to cast from far, far away. Yeah. Anyway, taking things down bit by bit. Let's get past these gloams. Man, I hate gloams. Or sorry, Dark Souls. I hate Dark Souls. So that is probably about as rough as it'll ever get. Let's check out some of these Death Lords. These guys are dangerous, right? Let's just go and taunt some Death Lords or some Hell Temptresses. We'll taunt some Hell Temptresses. See if they are any problem at all. No, not really. Okay. I keep hitting the wrong damn button. I'm used to a slightly different key setup here. So, oh, there we go. There we've got the Death Lords. All right, Death Lords. Let's see. Are you dangerous? Are you threatening? Well, that poison is getting through. Let's just take them down. Got some elite pack here or unique pack. Yeah. Anyway, I just kind of want to highlight how nice that energy shield is, but you probably get the point. But what was kind of funny, what I was saying before, is that when you head on over to the trade boards, everybody wants to trade for the Diablo essence or the Baal essence, and there's just a ton of Andariel and a ton of Mephisto essences, and I dare say that's because nobody really likes to do the World Stone Keep or even the Chaos Sanctuary all that much, right? Because they're hard. Man, I don't like that little thing on top, though. That's a little. When you cast mana, whatever that is, it takes down your health, so that's kind of annoying. Boy, our mercenary's doing a good job, though. But this is, a great character to potentially make some nice trades, right? Because you can go in there, you can take out Bale, no problem. It's pretty easy. You can take out Diablo, pretty easy. And then you've got like a really good trade item that everybody is needing to do their character resets and that sort of thing. So, yeah, kind of a nice little advantage there. But yeah, I mean, I'm hardly even working here. This is like the most comfortable character to play in the in the Worldstone Keep. This place is dangerous, man. Like there's things in here that want to kill you and kill you good. To feel relaxed in this place is a sure sign that your character is very nice. We will blast through these boss packs together, show you how how well they go down. Oh, that conviction aura, that minus to enemy resistance, and all these bonuses, man, they just work so well. These guys are always the most difficult, but for this character, not even so much. I mean, look at that. They just melted, like oh, poor guy. He always has such a hard time with those hydras. Okay, I think we have the Venom Lords next. I like to just get some lightning going here. These guys go down so fast. It's too funny. Alright, last but certainly not least, the Minions of Destruction. Let's see how these guys last. Not so good. That's fun. That's just fun. Anyway, you have a great character. We won't bother with Bale. You guys have all seen Bale a million times. But you have a great character for the Chaos Sanctuary runs, for the Throne of Destruction runs. Anyway, I'm sure it goes without saying that if she can handle Chaos Sanctuary, Throne of Destruction, then I don't even need to show you how well she does in the Pit or the Ancient Tunnels. Those are much easier. The only thing I have left to show you is the cow level. I like to end my guides in the cow level and show you just how well the characters do. Hey, cow level's a fun place to farm. And yeah, some builds work better in the cow level than others. The ooh, Pullerin. Okay, I'll grab that. Yeah, anyway, no problems in the cow level. These guys are nice because they line up straight. Sometimes you just put regular lightning straight through them. Sometimes chain lightning. Yeah, I don't know. I think she even does better than my all-time favorite for the cow level, which is the Blizzard Sorceress. I showed you a little bit about how well she does in the cow level, but I dare say our Infinity Lightning Source is at least on par, maybe even better, maybe even faster, just because that lightning is so fast and it goes exactly where you want it to go. Well, which is where all the monsters are. Blizzard kind of can sometimes hit a little bit randomly, so it might be a little bit slower, but yeah, lightning, chain lightning, they just go straight to target, kill all the things. So fun. so fun. Oh yeah, right, and I even didn't even show you how well she holds up against cows and their halberds. No problem. Like, oops, I accidentally teleported into a bunch of cows. That's okay. No problem. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video on the Immortal Infinity Lightning Sorceress. Like I say, this is the sorceress that young sorceresses dream about growing up and becoming one day. I can't think of a more powerful sorceress than this. If you can think of one, let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious. But nah, I think this is it. This is the top tier, top of the line. Have a great day, everybody. Hope to see you all in the next video.